I know a lot of people have had their hearts set, especially going on a Disney cruise to Alaska, and they haven't been able to since like late 2019, I guess. And then, of course, during the pandemic, well, Disney has just made a decision that we're going to have to wait until at least May of 2022 to take that trip to Alaska. I know it just breaks your heart because your whole family probably has their heart set on it, but
yeah, I was reading too that it could be up to 3 years before they do something. Oh man, another 3 years. 2022 sounds like, oh, that could be a dream, so it could be next year, but we'll see what happens. I wasn't planning on it, but now that it's not there, I'm like, oh, well.
Is that when it's out of your reach, when it's completely out of control for you, you're like, oh, that's exactly what I wanted.
His morning crew.
I know there's a lot of disadvantages to COVID-19, the pandemic. Got to wear the mask, all this other stuff. It's social distancing. But here is one advantage, and it's because of the middle seat in the airplane. So Delta, I was just reading this. Delta said they're still going to block the middle seats until at least April 30th. That means more room in the airplane.
I know. Have you ever just been in that middle seat, especially with two grown men? I'm sorry. I'm a little petite lady. I mean, I'm short, but when I'm in that middle seat and there's two guys on either side, I mean, you just feel like claustrophobia.
It's horrible. It's horrible. I don't like being squished up like that. So having the middle seat blocked is like, this is kind of a gift. At least it's one positive in the middle of a pandemic.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Just when you thought candy was affordable, think again. It's Rob and Liz, His Morning Crew on His Radio. It looks like Hersheys is going to get the price increase that they've always wanted, you and me, for their candy.
I read that they haven't raised their prices since 2014, but I feel like that's not the case. I feel like every time you go in and you look at the price of a candy bar, it just keeps ticking up and up and up. Because I remember when I was a kid, what were they, 65 cents or something like that for a candy bar?
I don't know.
Like $1.99.
I always thought it was $20.
It feels like it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, they're going to raise the prices just in time for Valentine's Day.
Now, they're going to do it on a few things, like the mini chocolate bars, the seasonal shapes, and the Hershey's Kisses this year. So those are the three things that they're looking at as far. It's not going to be like every single Hershey chocolate bar that you can think of, but at least those three, they're going to increase the prices a little bit. Happy Valentine's.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
This is just not your any ordinary flute that you find at a pawn shop. This one cost you some dime. It's Rob and Liz, His Morning Crew on His Radio.
So here's the story. Here's the setup. Donald was on a train. That's how he was commuting. So he is a musician. He had his flute along with him. Now, this is a flute that was given to him by his grandmother. This thing is worth like $22,000. I don't know what was on Donald's mind, but he gets up, gets off the train, and then realizes, oh, I forgot the flute. He got back on the train at some point. He searched all the cars, all cab cars, couldn't find it anywhere. And like you said, it ended up in a pawn shop. Some guy had found it. It was a homeless guy that had found it, and he used it as collateral to get a loan of like $500. He had no idea what the value was. Even the pawn shop owner didn't know what the value was. But then he and his wife, the pawn shop owner and his wife, were scrolling on Facebook, on social media, and they saw the story of the flute. They ended up getting it back in Donald's hands.
$22,000 for that flute. And they had no idea what they're sitting on. And I can't blame the homeless guy. He just needed some money to do something. Hopefully he spent it on the right things and didn't go out and get the wrong things with that money. But, he saw a flute, owner wasn't around, went and pawned it off. But who would have thunk that was a $22,000 flute? I'm glad the guy got it back, though, the original owner.
Yeah, I am too. When the police gave it to him, he actually went to the police station to pick it up. He was just in tears. Yes, there's a monetary value, but because his grandmother gave it to him, it meant so much more.
Oh, wow.
Mornings with Rob and Liz.
They're from Nigeria, Abindu and his family. Abindu is a teenager, and in 2019, when they moved from Nigeria to the States, he went right into high school. One thing he wanted to do was play football. Never played football in his life. He didn't even know how to put on the pads. The coaches had to help him, but they saw raw talent in Abindu. He was amazing. Now, something happened with his family in the last couple of years, and they became homeless. And so Abindu is now homeless, living in a shelter, going to high school. But to help sustain himself and his family, he went to work full-time, works 3 to 7 every single morning, then goes 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. every single morning, and then goes straight to school, does football practice, plays football, gets up early the next morning and does it all over again. 3 to 7, he's working, goes right to school, football practice. He worked so hard. He became an incredible team member that now he has a scholarship to college.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This kid, so he had adversity in his life, and he's probably had it for quite a while, even before coming to this country. But that put a fire in his belly, as they say. And man, look how hard he worked to overcome those circumstances. Way to go, man.
Southwest Baptist is where he's going to do it. And he just did his national letter of intent. And so he'll be a part of the national signing
Rob
day.
and Liz.
His morning crew.
Okay, let me pick up a card. Uno. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. And now Uno is going to become a movie?
I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know what the plot line is going to be, but I know that I've seen the movie Battleship. Have you ever seen that? It was based on the game.
I think I have, but I vaguely remember it.
Well, I watch it quite often. I do like the movie, but it doesn't really have that much to do with the game. So I feel like the Uno game is going to be kind of the same thing. Did you know that Uno, I didn't realize this, has been around since the 70s, and somebody in a barber shop came up with this game.
Well, good for them.
I know. I just think it's a cool story. Evidently you don't.
Yeah, well, a barber shop. So would they do it for kids or something? Or when somebody's getting their hair cut, they're bored, or like, can I play a card game? Yeah, let's play Uno.
Yeah, kind of. And they said this is a great game for families. So Uno has evolved into, well, not evolved, but spun off Skip-Bo. You've got, I think Phase 10 is from the makers of Uno and all this. So there's a lot of other games out there. Maybe those will also have to do with the movie, but I'm having a hard time connecting the dots.
I know, yeah. Action movie with Uno cards, it just doesn't make sense.
Seems like the game of life would have been the way to go.
His morning crew.
It's an earring catastrophe. Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. She's looking around for the back of her earring. Did you ever find it?
No, I think it's stuck in my hair. I
Okay.
have pretty thick hair, so
She
who
does
knows?
have a
I'll
lot of
find it in a
hair.
couple weeks.
Yeah, you should have seen the hair back in the 80s. Poofed all of the top and all that other stuff.
We're not even going to go there. I'll tell you where we will go, though. Listen, my husband's birthday is coming up on Friday. I think I may have found the absolute perfect gift for my husband, Joey.
Really?
It is a chillin' reel. So he loves to fish. Like, he cannot wait until we have warmer weather so he can get to the lake or to the ocean and do some fishing. This is where it's a koozie. So you can put your soda. He drinks Diet Mountain Dew. He can put his little can of Diet Mountain Dew down in there and never have to put his drink down. Like, he can just, drink it down and still fish. I don't know how they've done this, but there's a hand line that is attached to the koozie so you can continue to fish while you're drinking your drink.
Wait a minute. So where is the koozie? On your body somewhere, evidently.
In your hand. So you got the koozie in your hand.
Yeah.
The line, the fishing line, is attached to the koozie. So, like, if you feel a bite, it just sort of moves your hand.
So wait a minute. So the koozie is a part of the fishing reel?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a
here's what I'm
koozie
thinking.
on a fishing reel.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you go and you want to take a sip of your iced tea out of your koozie, does the whole rod come up to your mouth?
There's no rod. It's just a hand line.
What?
You just have fishing line that is on the side of the koozie. I know. Like, I'm trying to figure out how this is going to work. So I'm thinking that you can't really fish for more than brim or possibly goldfish. Because if you try to reel in anything really big, am I sounding stupid?
Is the reel on the koozie? And there's no rod?
Yes. Right. The reel is on the koozie. There's no rod.
I can't visualize this thing. It's so strange.
So, like a pop socket on the back of your phone?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it works kind of the same thing. So
it's a pop socket with a that's actually a reel that is on your koozie.
Yes.
There's no rod, and they expect you to fish with this?
Yes. So here's my guesstimate is that they're probably going to sell 5 by the end of the year.
You can't go deep sea fishing with that.
Oh no!
A tuna grabs
please.
that thing. You're going to be, off into the ocean somewhere.
His morning crew.
You may believe this or not, and I'm not sure how much I believe this, but it could happen. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. If you're familiar with the family, TJ, who is one of our video producers, when it comes to Liz's Ugly Bakery, which is every Thursday at 7:10, Liz always bakes an item, brings it in, we get to sample it. TJ never likes it. It's just, I don't know what it is. Picky eater. He likes roller meat from the convenience store. Slap some chili on that hot dog and he's fine. So, but I understand that possibly tomorrow he might like something out of Liz's Ugly Bakery. How can that even be?
Not exactly out of Liz's Ugly Bakery, but we decided, you are coming back in the studio tomorrow. We want to celebrate and welcome you home. And so we're all going to bake something. So Ian in the video department, is going to make some sort of fantastic dish. I am going to make Valentine and heart-shaped hand pies, cherry. So hopefully you like cherry. TJ, he hasn't really let on what he's going to make, but we're all going to make something for tomorrow.
Wow. So TJ will bring a surprise. That's why he's going to like it, because he's making it.
I think so.
He's going to like what he makes. Okay, that makes sense. By the way, what Liz is referring to, if you've just started listening to his radio, I've been virtual since November 2nd. I had emergency surgery. Then I had major surgery about 3 weeks ago. And I'm cleared to come back after being homebound for 3 months tomorrow. So I've been so looking forward to that. I'll be moving slow, but at least I'm on the road to recovery.
Right. And we just want to throw a little bit of a party here tomorrow. And so that's what we're going to do with Liz's Ugly Bakery. It may end up being a double party if TJ likes anything.
Well, if he likes his own thing, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes some sense. So isn't it funny? They had a party when I left. And they're
Did not.